Have you ever found yourself at a crossroads, unsure whether you're chasing after your true calling or simply following fleeting desires? It's a feeling many of us have experienced, a tug between what we feel we should do and what we want to do. This struggle often leaves us questioning, what is truly driving me? Today, we're diving into a topic that could change the way you see your life's path. The difference between a sense of mission, often referred to as a divine calling, and personal desires. While both are closely linked to our motivations and aspirations, they are fundamentally different in their depth and purpose. A sense of mission is that deep, spiritual calling that often connects us to something greater than ourselves. It's about serving others, contributing to the world in meaningful ways, and living a life that feels aligned with a bigger purpose. It's not about personal gain. It's about making an impact, helping others, and fulfilling a purpose you feel called to. On the other hand, personal desires are typically more self-centered. They focus on what we want for ourselves, whether that's success, material wealth, recognition, or comfort. These desires, while they can be fulfilling in the short term, often leave us feeling empty in the long run, especially when they don't align with something deeper. So why is it important to understand the difference? Recognizing where our true mission lies versus where our personal desires pull us can be the key to living a more intentional, fulfilling life. When we can clearly see the difference, we're better equipped to make decisions that are in line with our true calling, rather than being distracted by short-term cravings or societal pressures. In this video, we'll explore how to identify your true sense of mission, your higher calling, and how to distinguish it from passing desires or emotional impulses. By understanding what truly drives us, we can begin to live with more purpose, aligning our actions with what's meaningful and fulfilling, rather than getting lost in temporary wants that don't serve our deeper values. Let's dive in and begin this journey toward understanding what really matters in our lives. A sense of mission refers to a deep, profound calling that goes beyond personal goals and aspirations. It is a feeling of being driven by a purpose that often connects us to something greater than ourselves. This mission is not about seeking personal gain, but rather about serving others, contributing to the welfare of society, or fulfilling a higher purpose aligned with spiritual or moral beliefs. The idea of a sense of mission is tied to the concept that each person has a unique role to play in the world, a specific task or calling that is integral to the greater good. A person with a sense of mission might feel driven by an inner conviction or a clear sense of direction to do something that benefits others, whether it is through their career, volunteer work, or other forms of service. For example, someone with a sense of mission might feel deeply compelled to pursue a career in medicine, not simply for financial gain, but because they feel called to heal and serve others. Similarly, a person might dedicate their time and resources to charity work, driven by the desire to alleviate suffering and contribute to social change. A sense of mission often involves long-term commitments and sacrifices. Unlike personal desires that may shift with time, a person's mission provides a steady, unwavering source of purpose. This purpose is usually tied to a core set of values and beliefs, often related to spiritual or moral principles. In religious contexts, a sense of mission is frequently described as fulfilling God's plan for one's life. Individuals who feel called to pursue their spiritual mission often feel an inner compulsion to contribute to God's work in the world, whether by spreading love, advocating for justice, or caring for the less fortunate. One of the defining characteristics of a sense of mission is its focus on service to others. Those who feel they have a mission in life are not primarily motivated by the need for personal success, wealth, or recognition, but by the desire to make a positive difference in the world. A sense of mission usually involves a commitment to something that transcends individual desires, guiding the person toward meaningful impact in their community or society as a whole. In contrast, personal desires are more individual and often focus on self-fulfillment, comfort, or personal achievements. Personal desires are the dreams, wants, and aspirations that stem from an individual's inner needs or external pressures, such as societal expectations or family upbringing. These desires can range from wanting to achieve material success, gain recognition, or attain a certain status, to pursuing personal experiences like travel, adventure, or education. Personal desires are often deeply tied to the emotional and material aspects of life. For instance, an individual may desire financial security, a prestigious job title, or an ideal family situation. These desires can be influenced by external factors like cultural norms or peer comparisons, which often shape what we believe we should want or aspire to. Personal desires can also be linked to more superficial goals, such as acquiring the latest technology, buying a luxury car, or owning a large house. While these desires may bring short-term satisfaction, they do not typically provide lasting fulfillment or purpose. Unlike a sense of mission, which is typically enduring and unchanging, personal desires can be more fluid and temporary. They are often influenced by personal feelings, societal trends, or stages in life. For example, at one point in life, a person might desire a career focused on wealth accumulation, but as they mature, their desires might shift toward work-life balance or meaningful connections. Similarly, personal desires often reflect individual preferences and individualistic aspirations. These desires tend to focus on personal satisfaction, happiness, and the enjoyment of worldly pleasures. It is also important to note that personal desires, while not inherently wrong, can sometimes conflict with or distract from a deeper sense of mission. For example, a person might desire a high-paying job that requires long hours, but this job might also interfere with their ability to serve others or pursue a spiritual calling. In this way, personal desires can sometimes be self-serving, pushing us to focus inwardly rather than outwardly on the needs of others or on fulfilling a higher calling. In essence, personal desires tend to be more about fulfilling the needs of the self, whether that is achieving success, gaining recognition, or seeking pleasure. These desires are often fleeting, and the satisfaction they bring can be temporary. Unlike a sense of mission, which is often characterized by long-term fulfillment and purpose, personal desires might only lead to momentary satisfaction that may not last or provide deep meaning in life. The distinction between a sense of mission and personal desires lies in the motivation, focus, and impact of each. A sense of mission is often rooted in something larger than oneself, whether that is serving others, contributing to a societal cause, or fulfilling a divine calling. It is an enduring force that drives individuals to take actions that benefit others, sometimes at the cost of personal comfort or desires. In contrast, personal desires are often rooted in individual self-interest and fulfillment. While pursuing personal desires is not inherently bad, it is important to recognize that these desires tend to focus more on immediate gratification and personal satisfaction, which might not lead to lasting happiness or a deep sense of purpose. Personal desires can shift and change over time, depending on personal circumstances and external influences, whereas a sense of mission provides clarity and direction that endures over time. In this sense, while personal desires can play an important role in shaping our lives, they should not be confused with a higher calling or sense of mission. A person who recognizes their true mission in life is likely to find lasting fulfillment, not in personal achievement or material success, but in serving others and contributing to something greater than themselves. The sense of mission and personal desires are two important aspects of life, but they serve different purposes. A sense of mission is tied to a deeper, more meaningful calling that drives individuals to serve others and make a lasting impact, whereas personal desires are often focused on individual fulfillment and self-interest. Understanding the difference between these two is essential for living a life of purpose and true satisfaction, as it helps us prioritize what matters most and make decisions that align with our greater calling. One of the most significant differences between a sense of mission and personal desires is their longevity. A sense of mission is typically something long-term, sustained, and life-defining, while personal desires are often temporary and subject to change. A sense of mission provides an individual with a clear direction for their entire life. It often arises from a deeper understanding of one's calling or purpose, something that transcends personal needs and preferences. This mission is usually tied to a higher cause, whether it's about serving others, contributing to society, or fulfilling a spiritual calling. For instance, someone who feels called to serve the community as a doctor or a teacher is likely to be guided by this mission for their entire life. The work may evolve or change over time, but the core sense of mission remains stable and enduring. On the other hand, personal desires are typically more fluid and temporary. Personal desires are often tied to immediate needs or circumstantial goals. These desires can change rapidly depending on external circumstances, personal growth, or shifts in values. For example, a person may strongly desire a certain job, luxury, or lifestyle at one stage in their life. But these desires can quickly fade or change as priorities shift or life circumstances evolve. Personal desires can even fluctuate from day to day, driven by emotions, social pressures, or the latest trends. Unlike a mission, which anchors one's life, personal desires often drive short-term decisions that might not have a lasting impact. Thus, the key difference is that a sense of mission is a guiding principle that shapes one's entire life, while personal desires are more likely to influence momentary decisions and shifting preferences. Another distinguishing factor between a sense of mission and personal desires is the motivation behind them. A sense of mission typically arises from a greater sense of purpose. It is driven by a desire to serve others, contribute to a larger cause, or fulfill a calling that aligns with one's values or beliefs. This sense of mission is often deeply rooted in spirituality, moral convictions, or a commitment to social good. People with a strong sense of mission feel that their lives have a higher purpose, and this purpose often leads them to make sacrifices and focus on long-term goals that contribute to the well-being of others. For example, a person with a mission to eradicate poverty may dedicate their life to working with non-profit organizations or advocating for social justice. Their motivations come from an understanding that their actions will have a lasting impact on society. And this sense of fulfillment is not dependent on immediate rewards but on the greater good. The drive to serve others and contribute to positive change becomes the primary motivation, and personal satisfaction often takes a secondary role. In contrast, personal desires are more likely to be motivated by self-fulfillment or the pursuit of individual happiness. These desires may arise from personal needs, such as the need for comfort, status, or material wealth. Personal desires can also be influenced by the societal pressure to conform to certain expectations, like acquiring the latest technology, buying a home, or reaching a certain career milestone. The primary motivation behind personal desires is often personal satisfaction, comfort, and the pursuit of immediate gratification. While some personal desires may align with a greater purpose, many are driven by individualistic aspirations. For instance, a person may desire to work a high-paying job primarily for the financial security or lifestyle it provides, rather than for a deeper sense of contribution to society. In this case, the motivation is self-centered, as it revolves around what makes the individual feel comfortable or accomplished in the present. Therefore, the key difference lies in the depth of motivation. A sense of mission often leads to long-term, sacrificial commitment to a higher purpose, while personal desires are often driven by the immediate pursuit of personal happiness or material success. The scope of impact is another critical distinction between a sense of mission and personal desires. A sense of mission typically extends beyond the individual, influencing others and contributing to larger societal or community changes, whereas personal desires generally impact the individual directly and are focused on personal experiences and achievements. A person driven by a sense of mission often focuses on contributing to society or humanity as a whole, whether it's through helping others, advocating for change, or fulfilling a higher calling. The impact of their mission is often intended to benefit others. For example, a person with a mission to fight climate change works not only for their own benefit but to create a sustainable environment for future generations. This mission transcends the individual, aiming to bring about collective good and positive societal impact. Similarly, someone with a mission to serve in ministry, whether as a pastor or volunteer, might spend their life focused on spiritual growth and the well-being of others. The mission is community-focused, aiming to help others grow, rather than focusing on personal gain or satisfaction. The scope of impact for those with a sense of mission is expansive, often reaching far beyond their immediate circle. In contrast, personal desires are often more self-contained. The pursuit of personal desires is usually focused on personal happiness, wealth, or success, with the impact primarily affecting the individual. For example, the desire to purchase a luxury car or achieve a particular job title is primarily driven by personal goals and reflects individual aspirations. These desires do not inherently involve others in the same way a sense of mission does. Though personal desires can lead to positive outcomes for others, such as achieving financial success and then donating to charity, the primary intent is personal gain. Therefore, while personal desires can sometimes have a wider impact, their focus remains on individual achievement and satisfaction. In summary, the sense of mission typically aims to serve others and create a lasting impact on society. While personal desires focus on individual fulfillment and achieving personal goals, the scope of impact for a sense of mission is often broader and involves others, whereas personal desires tend to affect only the individual directly. The key differences between a sense of mission and personal desires lie in their longevity, motivation, and scope of impact. A sense of mission is long-term, deeply rooted in a higher purpose, and often focuses on serving others and contributing to societal change. Personal desires, on the other hand, are typically more temporary, motivated by self-fulfillment, and primarily impact the individual. Understanding these differences is crucial for making decisions that align with our deeper values and for living a life that balances personal satisfaction with a sense of purpose and service to others. Recognizing a true sense of mission in life can be a powerful and transformative process. Unlike personal desires that often change with time, a sense of mission provides a clear and steady direction for one's life. It's often deeply rooted in a passion for something greater than oneself, a spiritual connection, and a commitment to serving others or contributing to a greater cause. To identify your true sense of mission, it's important to reflect on several key aspects of your life and aspirations. A sense of mission will anchor you, giving your actions and decisions purpose and meaning. Here are some ways to recognize your true calling. A sense of mission is often rooted in an intense passion for a specific cause or purpose. It is something that excites you on a profound level, something you would dedicate your time and energy to, even without the expectation of reward. This passion goes beyond personal interests. It is connected to a larger purpose that fuels you. For example, if you feel a deep calling to help underprivileged communities or to care for the sick, this may signal a sense of mission that is tied to serving others. Many people identify their sense of mission through a spiritual connection. Whether it's through faith or a deeply held belief in serving others, a mission often provides a sense of alignment with higher principles or divine purpose. For those who follow a faith tradition, your mission may be something you believe God has called you to do, such as spreading love, seeking justice, or helping those in need. Your mission often becomes clearer through reflection, prayer, or meditative practices that allow you to connect with your inner self and your higher purpose. A key characteristic of a sense of mission is its larger scope. A mission is typically not about personal success, but about contributing to a greater cause. It involves helping others, creating lasting impact, and making a difference in the world. Ask yourself, what do I feel deeply compelled to do? What is my purpose beyond personal gain? A mission often involves serving a cause that will outlast your lifetime and may require sacrifice or long-term commitment. To identify your sense of mission, it's helpful to ask yourself some fundamental questions. These questions guide you in recognizing where your deep passions align with service to others. What was I created to do? This question helps you reflect on the gifts, talents, and interests you have, and how they align with a greater purpose in the world. It encourages you to think beyond your individual success, and to consider how you can use your skills and abilities for a larger impact. What impact do I want to have in the world? This question challenges you to think about the legacy you want to leave behind. A true mission often involves a desire to make a difference, whether through serving people, addressing societal needs, or improving the world in a significant way. When your sense of mission becomes clear, it gives you purpose and focus, helping you navigate challenges and maintain resilience through the difficult times. Your mission is something that can sustain you, offering clarity and motivation even in the face of adversity. Unlike a sense of mission, personal desires tend to focus more on self-fulfillment and immediate satisfaction. These desires often arise from personal preferences, ambitions, or material goals, and they can fluctuate over time. While personal desires are not inherently negative, they are typically centered around achieving personal success, comfort, and happiness, and they often don't have the long-term, lasting impact that a sense of mission does. Personal desires are often linked to individual preferences and the pursuit of things that make us feel good or validated. For example, a desire for a specific job title, a luxury car, or the perfect lifestyle can be driven by social comparison or a need to feel a sense of accomplishment. These desires may not necessarily align with a higher purpose, but are more closely related to materialistic or personal achievements. Personal desires often include ambitions for financial success, status, or comfort. These desires might manifest as the pursuit of a high-paying job, the acquisition of possessions, or achieving a certain level of social prestige. While these desires can bring temporary satisfaction, they are often short-lived and do not lead to long-term fulfillment or a sense of purpose.